Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's explore more about biomarkers. Today I want to talk about the Donanemab, the new early-stage Alzheimer's treatment, which was approved by FDA yesterday on June 10, 2024. Today, let's take it as a role model to understand how a response biomarker works. Also, just let you know, I spent 2 working days in creating this video. So this video will serve as records of a 2-day rapid reading challenge, master a new disease from biomarker perspectives. All information in this video is publicly available. So for this example, we know the primary endpoint is the Integrated Alzheimer's Disease Rating Scale, abbreviated as IADRS. The lower score indicates the greater impairments of the brain. So the main goal of the drug is to slow down the disease progression. As we can understand, the treatment slows the declines on the rating scale. This is quite straightforward, right? You would like to put what is the main goal you want to achieve as the primary target in a clinical trial. When we look at the secondary endpoint, these include the reduction in amyloid plaque, the response biomarker we are going to focus today. When we talk about primary and secondary endpoint, it's important for us to know their main use is to assign a clinical response. Let's take the drug example again to understand this topic further. Imagine a subject with a significant slower decline on the disease rating scale, together with a significant reduction on amyloid plaque. This suggests donanemab works as expected, along with its mechanism of action. So both primary and secondary endpoints are met in this case. So it's no doubt that this patient could be a CR, complete response. However, we need to be clear that a clinical response is primarily assigned if the treatment achieved the primary endpoint. If a subject shows a slower decline on the disease rating scale, a complete response may still assign even though the secondary endpoint, in this case, is the amyloid level did not reduce. Makes sense, right? The main use of secondary endpoints are used to gather more information about the treatment effects. What does it mean? It means the complete response cannot be assigned if only the secondary endpoint met, but not the primary. Likewise, we don't really care about the biomarker. We don't really care about how the amyloid plaque level change if the disease progression is the same. Does it make sense? However, that is the case of a single subject. When we talk about clinical trials results, when it's completed and submitted for regulatory consideration, FDA do take strong consideration to look for the secondary endpoint for its scientific support. For example, in this case, the amyloid plaque as a response biomarker to support the donanemab's effectiveness. This is why biomarker is critical in a clinical trial. Then we have briefly touch base on the clinical response. I would like to get you a full picture of it as well. We still need to start with the FDA scientific statement. Response biomarkers measure the biological response. It get its name for its function. It potentially beneficial or harmful has occurred in any individual who has been exposed to a medical product or an environment agent. In this way, imagine you are at a party and the DJ play a new song. Some people start dancing like crazy, others just nod their heads, and a few heads to the snack table. A response biomarker is like figuring out who is going to hit the dancing floor when that song comes on. We will dance along, just knock, or head straight to the snack. Doctors use these response biomarkers to tailor the treatment to make sure everyone have a good time. Or in this case, dancing crazy hints a complete response, nodding heads, just a partial response, when non-responder will just head to the snack table. To dive deeper into the response biomarker, pharmacodynamic, so-called PD biomarkers, and the surrogate endpoint biomarker are two subtypes of the biomarkers under the umbrella of the response biomarkers. So as a PD biomarker, it may possible contribute in the following way. For example, the proof of concept, treating strategy selection, serve a secondary endpoint as we just discussed. Or PD biomarker may even be described in the labeling. The design of Donanemab is based on the long-held hypothesis that Alzheimer's disease begins when the rough hard balls of the amyloid, that protein, pile up in patients' brains. By measuring the change of a beta amyloid level, researchers can establish the proof of concept that whether the drug is working reducing the uh, amyloid prep affect the biological pathway associated with the Alzheimer's disease. This is even before seeing the clinical improvement in the patient cognitive function. And also, this comes to the important part. PD biomarker contribute the treatment strategy as well. Of course, so we have a higher and higher dose, we have a better and better response in the biomarker. This need to be considered together with a PK study as well, but is able to inform the selection of the dose. Also, I think the second point come to play important role. Eli Lilly suggests to remove the donanemab dosing once the amyloid is clear in the brain. This is an example how powerful of the biomarker could affect the patient life. Imagine if it stopped the treatment after amyloid clear. That means reducing the hospital visit, reducing the healthcare costs as well. However, not all the biomarker can make this point, but amyloid plaque did. In the case of acute aducanumab, a previous version of Alzheimer's disease treatment, amyloid plaque reduction was described in the labeling. Last, just want to touch base on the surrogate biomarker. Imagine you are racing to get fit and lose weight. Instead of waiting months to see if your clothes fit better, this is the ultimate goal, is the primary endpoint we want to achieve. Instead of waiting for that, we can step on a scale weekly. If the number drop, you know you are going to make it in 3 months and fit in a slimmer cloth. Does it make sense? So in this case, your weight is your surrogate marker for your goal fitting in a better cloth. So surrogate biomarker designed for that purpose. It is just like the scale. Instead of waiting years to see if a new drug reduced a heart attack, for example, the doctor measures the cholesterol level. If the cholesterol level drops, it is good sign that the drug works. And also, we have the example of the amyloid plaque as well. Reduction of the amyloid plaque was approved as a surrogate endpoint for the patient with mild or cognitive impairments or mid-stage of Alzheimer as well. Why we want to do that? As waiting for the impairment of the brain may be a time costing and the patient do not have that much time. If the medicine A was not able to decrease the amyloid plaque, It allows the patient to switch to medicine B in an earlier time point. This may save the line. So, in brief, a surrogate endpoint biomarker is a quick, reliable stand-in that tells the researcher if the treatment is working or not without waiting forever for the final outcome. With that, here come to the end of my video. Please comment, like, or follow. See you next time.